Hi everyone, my name is Sanjeev. In this video, I will demo how to configure outbound TLS context for Anypoint Flex Gateway deployed in connected mode. I will also demo how to apply outbound TLS context to the API in API Manager. I have deployed the Spring Boot Gateway outbound TLS demo. So I have this Anypoint Flex Gateway in connected mode. I have deployed in the Docker container, and I have Spring Boot API here. Here you can see that it's using port 8443 and it's running on HTTPS. I'm invoking the Spring Boot API here using HTTPS. This is my IP address, laptop IP address. I'm using my laptop IP address 192.168.1.6. We can access this using localhost as well. We have to use the port 8443, click enter, and we are getting the response. So let me try my laptop IP address. And I am able to access through my laptop IP address as well. If I will change the protocol to HTTP, then it won't work. So it's not working, and I am getting the response bad request. This combination of host and port require TLS. So we need a TLS to invoke this Spring Boot API. This Spring Boot API is only accessible on protocol HTTPS. We can observe the certificate, and this is the certificate. This is the common name. We can see more detail. Issuer detail. This is issuer detail. ABC Inc. Location, state. We can also see the certificate SAN, and this is the certificate SAN. IP address, my laptop IP address. Now I will go to the Anypoint platform, and I will go to the API Manager. And here I will add the API to the Flex Gateway. Click Add API, add new API. Under Flex Gateway, I will select the Flex Gateway that is in connected mode. Click Next. Create new API. I will give the name Hello API. Asset type HTTP API. Click Next. I am exposing port 8082 on a Flex Gateway Docker container. So here I need to provide the port 8082. So here we can see that netstate ANO find 80, and I will only search for 808. So here we can see that we don't have any 8081. The 8082 is listening. So if we provide 8081, won't get any response. If we use 8082, and here we are getting the response. So I have given the Flex Gateway 8082 here. Base path API. Click Next. Here I will provide the upstream detail. I will remove hello. Route label, I will say hello API route. Upstream label hello API. And here right now I'm not adding TLS context. So let me click Next. Here is the detail. I'm using this Flex Gateway. Port is 8082 base pass slash API, I'm invoking this Spring Boot service here. Save and deploy. Hello API has been added to the Flex Gateway. Let me try to invoke it. Localhost 8082 slash API slash hello. And here we are getting the error and it's related to the TLS. Now let me configure the outbound TLS and let's see if we able to hit the API. Here I will add the TLS context. This is outbound TLS context. First I will configure a TLS context. Create secret group. I will give the name. Let me check the first my environment. I should be using Sandbox because I added the API in Sandbox environment. Now I will add the secret group here. Let me show you my certificates first. So here is the public certificate that I got it from the certificate that I was showing here. So I got the public certificate. Let me open it. Detail. Here you can see that issuer detail. So this is the same that I was showing on the browser when I was accessing the Spring Boot API, Hello API directly. Let me show you subject. And here is the subject alternative name, IP, and this is my laptop IP. This is also public certificate, same as this one. I just exported in the PEM type. I will use this file to create the trust store and secret manager. So I will go to the secret manager. Here I will create the secret group first. I will give the name Spring Boot secret group. I will check the checkbox for secret group downloadable. Click save. Here I will add the trust store. We don't have to add the key store because this secret group will be used for outbound TLS. So I will add the trust store, add trust store. I will give the name Spring Boot trust store. Type PEM is fine. We will use the type PEM. Here I will choose the test store file of type PEM. So I will select this file. I will not provide expiration date. It will fetch from the public certificate. Click save. So we have created the test store. Now I will add the TLS context. Add TLS context. I will give the name Spring Boot TLS context. Target we are creating for Flex Gateway. Minimum TLS version, I will select TLS 1.1. Max TLS version, TLS 1.3. Now I will select the test store. So I will select the test store that we just created. Spring Boot test store. Expiration date I'm not going to add. ALPN protocol default is fine. I do want to validate server certificate, so I will not skip it. Cipher, we have already recommended cipher for 1.2 and secure cipher for 1.2. We need to select minimum one cipher for TLS 1.2. So I will select this one and save it. So TLS context also has been created. Now I will go back to the API manager. And here I will select the secret group. So I will select Spring Boot secret group, and I will select the TLS context, Spring Boot TLS context. Click OK. So we have added the Spring Boot TLS context, which have the detail about the trust store. I will save and apply. So outbound trust store is getting added to this Spring Boot API, and it has been added. Now let me invoke it. We should not get the error now. So I'm accessing through Flex Gateway using port 8082. Let me try the Hello API, and we got the response. So we are able to access this Spring Boot API now because we have added the TLS context to this upstream Spring Boot API. And because of this outbound TLS context configuration, we are able to validate the server certificate, the certificate that is presented by this Spring Boot API. We are able to validate here. So let me show you here in a view configuration detail. So in previous video, I showed you how to configure the inbound TLS in Flex Gateway, and we secured the communication between client and the API gateway. And today we configure the outbound TLS here in API gateway on Hello API that we add to the Flex Gateway, and we secured the communication between Flex Gateway to the upstream API because of this outbound TLS configuration, we are able to validate the server certificate that is presented by Hello Spring Boot API, and here we are able to validate. So this communication we have secured using outbound TLS, and the transport layer between API that is added to the Flex Gateway and the upstream API, Hello API, Spring Boot API is now encrypted, and this communication is secure. So you can watch the previous video where we secured this communication, and in this video we looked at how to secure this communication. So we need to use the both configuration inbound and outbound to fully secure the communication from client to Flex Gateway and Flex Gateway to the upstream API. So we can make sure that transport layer is secured and encrypted between client and Flex Gateway and Flex Gateway and upstream API. I hope you understood how to configure secret group, how to configure trust store in secret group, and how to add the TLS context in secret group, and then how to add the outbound TLS to the API to encrypt the communication between Flex Gateway and that upstream API. This is all in this video. If you like this video, click the like button and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.